hands-on in Power Query. So I've shared you those data files. Please download them. I'm sharing my screen. These are the data files. I'll open dataset 1. All right. So I think we are familiar with this dataset because Jairam has used this in Tableau prep session, right? So it's about best-selling books, where we are having in column A ranks, and these from column B onwards, it's all like genres in those books. And over here, so the first one is book name, author, price, and the code. So basically, to analyze this data, we want to have it in a tidy way, right? So we basically need to do a cleaning step in that. After doing cleaning, it should look something like this, where we are having rank and then genre and book name, author, price, and code. So yeah, now we'll try to do this cleaning in Power Query. So yeah, please download the dataset and open a new Excel file. Let me know once you're ready with your Excel.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Me too.
Okay. Okay. So as a step 1, let's try to connect to the data set. To do that, go into data pane. Then from here, get data from file, and it's a Excel file, right? So we'll click from workbook, and we'll select the data, dataset 1. All right. So we want to transform this particular sheet data in. So I'll just select the sheet and then transform data. So I'll repeat once again, data, then get data from workbook, and then select the particular data set. Right. All right. So now what we need to do, we first need to unpivot these genres, right, from here to here. So we select those columns first. Now we've selected those columns, right? And then go to transform. Over here, you'll be having unpivot columns. So click on that. Then now we have received the first column as our genres, and second column is the book data. So let's rename that as genres. Yeah. Please go ahead and do this step. And you can see your apply steps over here. So we basically unpivoted our columns, and then we renamed one of our columns. Okay. So now the next step going to be we basically need to have book names, author, price, and code as separate columns, right? So that means we basically need to split this particular column. So click on that, and you will be seeing option in transform split columns. So yeah, we'll split column by delimiter. So click on that. So we basically splitting this value column, and delimiter will be this. So yeah, once we give in the delimiter, then click OK. That basically splits our particular column into multiple columns. And now the first column going to be our book name. Just rename it name. Next one author. Next one price. Next one going to be code. And we don't want these two columns, so I'll just remove them. I'll click on that column 5 and right click, remove. Column 6, right click, remove. Awesome. Now if you observe the column, so we are having a complete green for all these columns except for this, right? You can see the small black mark, which indicates we are not having, we are having an empty cells, so that's why we are getting a black mark. If we have any errors, then we're going to have a red. So let's see what the empty cell is. So here it is, we are having a null for rank for this particular data row. So yeah, so we'll just remove that null and click OK, or else you can even transform that null as well. Now as we are not having any blanks, so we got like complete green as our ribbon. Right, then let's change these columns data type. So price will be currency. I'll click on this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'll click currency over here. It got changed into currency, and this code, let's change it to text so that we can see the complete all the numbers. Yep. Now I think we've received our data structure. We want to have it in.
Hello. I think there's a data connection issue.
I think the final step, we basically need to load this into somewhere, right? Either into a Power BI or into a Excel worksheet. So let's load this into Excel first. Okay, I'll load it as a new worksheet. Click OK. Done.
Okay, not sure if they have done all that stuff. Okay, so as soon as you are gone, we started with the schedule check.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, it's recorded. Apologies. Please go ahead. Check with them, please.
Okay, I'll reopen the Power Query editor again. All right. The steps, we unpivoted the data. Then we rename this journal column. Then we splitted the that book names and all those columns, and then we renamed them. Then we removed last two columns which we don't want. And as the next step, we filtered this rank column and we changed the data type for price and code.
Yeah, I'm done. What less? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. I'll close this. Right. So that's the dataset 1. Now let's move on to dataset 2.
Akhil, just one question.
Yeah.
In that close and load, we get a dialog box, right?
Right.
And do we select table over there?
You can select new worksheet. So that basically add a new worksheet and data will be published in that.
Okay, got it.
Right. So now let's move on to dataset 2. So in this dataset, we are having a complete like customer details in single cell. So you can see it got name and saying name, and the name is over here. Then address, and the complete address is over here. And it says age, and age is over here, and gender, and gender is over here, right? Likewise, we got data in a single complete customer data in a single cell. So now we need to clean that up. And after cleaning up, it should actually look like something like this. So name need to be in separate column, address, age, and gender, so on. All right. So let's clean this this data using Power Query. Say that. So I'll come back to our workbook. The same steps. Connect to the data. I'll connect from file, workbook. This time it's dataset 2. Import that. So we want to transform this to file and select that and transform it. So do you want to have a try, or shall we do the same like we did the first one?
I think we can try.
Okay. So here we have to use text functions. You can use text dot between delimiters and pass this particular column as an input. Alright, I'll explain you for one of the fields. So we're going to add custom column. Let's say I want to have name. So I'll use function which is text dot between delimiters. Open that. So basically we want to use this, and between which delimiters we want to get the text. So for name we want to have it between text between name and address, right? So I'll first type in name as my first delimiter. So so what this function doing, it's going to see for first delimiter as name. So it's going to find that our delimiter going to be address. Hello.
Yeah, there's some audio issue from your end.
Okay. What I was saying is, so we'll be using a text dot between delimiters. So we going to pass in this particular column 1 as our input, and for name we want to have a text which is in between this text name and in between text address, right? So whatever is in between name and address, that is our name. So now what this function going to do, it's going to get us the text which is in between name and address. That is
again